like anywhere, it takes experience to get experience. So you go to interview for a job and the employer said, well, you don't have enough experience for this job. So how do we solve that problem? I believe that by offering an on-campus internship, it gives experience to those students who don't have experience. It's a 15-week experience where they can work, not leaving the BYU campus, yet work for one of the big name corporations in North America.
Our task was to, our original task I guess, was to look at a series of videos at a website that was given to us and view these 30-minute segments and condense them down to about 3 to 5 minutes so that those could then be sent out in an email form to all of their employees. And so we started the project and pretty quickly realized that those 30-minute videos were unbelievably boring. And so we actually proposed an alternative assignment to the man that we were working with. And so what we did instead was through a couple of our connections here on campus, we teamed up with some students who could create those whiteboard videos. And so we wrote the scripts and kind of directed the process.
We were to analyze the internal workings of their public recognition program and compare that with best practices in the industry among other companies. And so we got a chance to get to know American Express internally, and we got a chance to know the industry as far as recognition practices go across companies, and then present a deliverable to them of how they can, how they compare and what opportunities they have.
The project that we did was we researched how to promote women in the workforce, and we created recommendations for them. And so we researched consulting firms that were like Hitachi Consulting, researched their best practices, and then created recommendations for Hitachi Consulting so they could present to their executive board.
Because it provides a marker on the resume. When an employer, a prospective employer, looks at their resume and they say, whoa, you worked at General Mills or you worked for American Express, what was it like? Tell me about your experience with eBay. These are examples of real life situations that are happening every semester to our students and helping them get jobs. I believe that having a marker on the resume is a door opener. I'm so excited about the prospect of offering markers to the resume that lets anybody misinterpret the fact that, wait a minute, those are not all Fortune 500 companies. This section that we are offering specializes in someone who wants a career in the field of organizational behavior, human resources, or strategy. In those fields, there are recognizable local companies who do a great job at human resource development. For example, you could have DecisionWise or Orange Soda. Those are clients who have offered projects for our students. Or in the consulting realm, you could have InnoSight or Sorensen Capital. Again, these are not Fortune 500 companies, but the relevance that they give to our students in helping get jobs is incredible.
It's an easy way to get a great experience while you're here on campus. It works well with your schedule, it counts for school credit. I mean, to me, there are just no downsides to it.
Traditionally, I've seen that there's a disconnect between what you learn in class and what happens in real life. And it's not much of a disconnect, and hopefully we narrow that gap a little bit. But there is still a disconnect, and so as students, we struggle sometimes putting what we learn in the class to use in real life. And this on-campus internship completely brings the two together, helping you apply the principles that you're learning in the classroom to a real-life situation with real-life problems and real-life professionals.
How to work in a team. And I know that sounds so abstract and everybody says that, but that's what we do at work. No matter what you say, you're on some kind of a team, and learning how to do that now is going to be so much more valuable later when you're actually in an office. Instead of figuring it out then, if you can prove that to an employer in an interview, that you really do know how to work in a team and you have stories to back it up, that's so much more credible.
Conversing with C-level executives isn't as scary as people may make it out to be, but also that the things that you learn in your education is really pertinent to the real world and you can apply it. And so the more experience you get and the more application that you do, it really helps you in your future.
Absolutely. I just got an internship for the summer with Twitter in San Francisco, California, and I'm thrilled to be going there. It's an incredible company. It's I'm not too familiar with the platform, but I'll learn more about Twitter when I go out there.
So putting United Healthcare on my resume was something that immediately grabbed the attention of anybody who looked at it. I actually have an internship this summer with Cisco, which is another great name that I'm excited to be able to put on my resume, but during that interview, they were very interested to hear about what it was that I was doing for United Healthcare.
Absolutely. I met with one company, interviewed with one company, and received one job offer, and that was Goodyear.
It might sound a little trite to say this, but BYU students should take a lot of hard classes and do well in them. You need to have a skill that you can bring to the table in your on-campus internship experience and be a contributor.
I would say don't feel so tied to the task that you're involved in. Feel free, in most cases, I think, to use what you're learning and apply, I guess, the innovative ideas that you have. Obviously, you need to clear those with the person you're working with, but I don't know, looking at the project and doing your best to use what you know to make it the best that you can.
Look for ways to contribute to the team. Look for ways to learn and explore new avenues and do as much as you possibly can to learn from this valuable experience while you're working on the project.
A student will do well in the on-campus internship program if they will think out of the box. No matter what the project assignment is, give more. Think a little bit down the line of what could I do to magnify this project so that it helps BYU shine, the students shine, and gives the client more than they've asked for.